The movie begins with Jake Sully narrating his life as the chief of his clan on Pandora, where he enjoys a simple, peaceful existence with his family. He explains that he and his wife, Neytiri, have 5 kids, 2 sons, Nitayam and Loak, their young daughter Tuk, their adopted daughter Kiri, and a human boy named Spider. Jake clarifies that Kiri is the daughter of his late friend Grace, who gave her life fighting alongside the Na'vi. Spider, on the other hand, was left behind when the humans retreated to Earth after losing the war. Jake says the kids are close, always looking out for one another, and though they differ in size and appearance, they've grown up like a real family. Still, Neytiri has never trusted Spider, because he's actually the son of Colonel Miles Quaritch, the man who nearly destroyed the Na'vi. Spider remained on Pandora only because he was too young to be transported back to Earth. Kiri, however, has a deep bond with him and cares for him like a sibling. Since Spider has spent his whole life among the Na'vi, he believes he belongs with them. One night, while Jake and Neytiri are talking, they spot glowing ships in the sky. Suddenly, those ships descend and unleash destruction. The Omaticaya village is set ablaze, animals are killed, and soldiers armed with powerful machines sweep in to finish the job. From a distance, Jake and Neytiri realize the attackers are RDA forces, back on Pandora to colonize it again and establish a new base of operations. The scene then cuts to a human lab where scientists have created an avatar clone of Colonel Quaritch. His clone carries all of Quaritch's memories up until his death, though he doesn't know who killed him.
Colonel, stand down! Colonel, it's me! Corporal Winfleet!
Along with him, several other fallen soldiers have also been revived in Na'vi bodies.
Ain't this a bitch?
Together, they're determined to hunt down the Omaticaya, and especially Jake. Meanwhile, Jake leads a raid on the RDA's supply train, striking at their resources. The mission is a success. They seize weapons and food, but during the fight, his son Loak disobeys orders and ends up injured. Jake scolds him, demanding he be more disciplined next time. Elsewhere, Quaritch meets with his superior, General Ardmore, who briefs him on the Na'vi's flying mounts, the skimwings, which have been slowing down their aircraft. Quaritch responds with a plan to move into the forest battlefield where he once fought, to learn more about his enemies.
And how might we test that hypothesis, General?
The hard way.
Outstanding.
When he arrives with his squad, Jake's kids happen to be nearby, playing in the same forest.
I'll tell Mom if you don't let me come.
Don't pick on her.
While surveying the battlefield, Quaritch comes across his old AMP suit, with his human remains still inside.
There's remains.
Loak, watching from the shadows, secretly reports this to Jake using his communicator. Jake warns him to stay hidden and leave quietly, but before the children can escape, they're captured by Quaritch's troops. Inspecting them, Quaritch notices their fingers and quickly realizes they're Jake's children. When Quaritch questions Spider about his identity, he figures out the truth. Spider is his son. Just then, Jake and Neytiri swoop in and launch an attack.
Get back here!
Why don't you Come on now, Mr. Sully.
I will kill you as many times as I have to.
Spider!
They manage to rescue most of their kids, but Spider is taken by the RDA.
Fall back! Move out! Move! Okay, we're clear.
Back at the Omaticaya home, Jake talks to Neytiri and suggests they leave for the eastern seaboard. He's worried that Spider might reveal their location to Quaritch and his men. Jake also admits that as long as he stays with the tribe, the humans will never stop attacking, because he was the one who killed Quaritch in the first place. Neytiri hates the idea of abandoning her beloved home, but she knows Jake is right. Reluctantly, she agrees to go. Meanwhile, General Ardmore tortures Spider by strapping him into a spinning interrogation machine, trying to force information out of him. But Spider stays loyal to his Na'vi family and refuses to talk. Surprisingly, Quaritch can't stand watching his son suffer. He orders the machine stopped and tells Ardmore he'll deal with Spider himself. Later, he meets with the boy privately, trying to reassure him that he's not a monster. He even says he wants to take him back to Earth. This softens Spider's heart, and eventually he gives Quaritch the information he's after. The story shifts back to Jake's family. They take flight on their Ikrans and leave their forest home behind. After days of travel, they finally reach Metkayina territory, where a different Na'vi clan lives by the ocean.
Hey, leave it. Be nice.
These Na'vi are lighter in color and adapted to water life. Seeing Jake's family, they mock their appearance.
Do not. Roto. Aunu.
Hey.
Soon, the clan's chief, Tonowari, and his wife arrive.
Tonowari. Actually, I knew him as a...
You now. Sahika the Metkayina.
I see you, Ronan.
Skeptical, Tonowari points out that Jake's family isn't built for the water and doubts they'll survive, but Jake pleads with him, promising they'll learn quickly and adapt.
The tails are weak. You'll be slow in the water. Are not even true Na'vi. They have demon blood!
Look. Look. Look, I was born of the Sky People, and now I am Na'vi, right? You can adapt. We will adapt.
Hiding among strangers. Chosen one.
He also explains that they're being hunted by humans. After hearing this, Tonowari agrees to let them stay, and orders his children to teach Jake's kids how to swim and bond with the sea creatures.
This is great. It's nice.
Tonowari's children begin training their new friends in the ocean. Mischievous as always, Loak tries to connect with a sea creature, but quickly loses control and falls into the water, causing Tonowari's kids to laugh at him. Meanwhile, Kiri is seen diving deep into the ocean, where she shows a natural affinity for the water. She even demonstrates the ability to connect with sea life in ways others can't. The next day, while Kiri is meditating underwater, Tonowari's son Aonung and his friends mock her, calling her a freak. Loak jumps to her defense and punches Aonung.
So stupid!
Later, Jake finds out and scolds his son, demanding he apologize since Aonung is the clan leader's child. Loak reluctantly apologizes, and although Aonung accepts in public, he still holds a grudge. Wanting revenge, Aonung tricks Loak into swimming in a dangerous area full of predators. While Loak fishing, all boys leave him alone silently.
Hey!
At that time, a massive sea predator charges at him. Terrified and alone, he thinks he's doomed, until a gigantic creature named Payakan comes to his rescue. Payakan smashes the predator with its huge head, saving Loak's life. We learn that Payakan is a tulkun,
Oh, shit.
a species of intelligent and peaceful sea creatures deeply respected by the Metkayina, who see them as spiritual family. Payakan is the largest and most powerful of them all. After pulling some harpoons from Payakan's body to help him, Loak and the tulkun form a strong bond. Payakan even brings him safely back to the surface. Later, Tonowari finds out about the incident and demands his son Aonung apologize. But Loak, in a selfless act, takes the blame and insists Aonung wasn't at fault. This finally makes Aonung realize Jake's family isn't as bad as he thought. Later, Loak tells his brother and friends about how Payakan saved him. To his surprise, they don't believe him. Instead, they reveal that Payakan is considered an outcast, a killer, and that's why the other Tulkuns have abandoned him. Meanwhile, Spider continues teaching Quaritch about Na'vi culture and even takes him to the Hallelujah Mountains so he can bond with an Ikran. At first, Quaritch struggles, but eventually he gets the hang of it and takes to the skies. Soon after, he learns where Jake might be hiding and leads his forces toward the Metkayina Reef. When they arrive, Quaritch questions some of the reef people about Jake's whereabouts. When they deny knowing him, the humans respond with violence, killing one villager and burning their homes. Still, the Metkayina refuse to betray Jake. With no leads, Quaritch moves to Plan B, slaughtering the Tulkuns. Not only will it force Jake out of hiding, but the Tulkuns' brains contain a priceless fluid that halts aging. Back on Earth, a single leader is worth millions. Soon, hunters set out after the creatures. They fire tracking devices into them, knocking many unconscious.
Straight up on her!
In one devastating scene, a mother Tulkun is brutally killed while her calf remains by her side, stunned and grieving.
Drill up through the hard
Mathematics.
So that's what this is all.
The humans sail off, leaving the trackers embedded in the animals. When the Metkayina discover their sacred allies are being massacred, they prepare for battle, but Jake urges restraint, saying they must first warn the Tulkuns about the trackers. Otherwise, they'll be wiped out. Hearing this, Loak races off to warn his friend Payakan, joined reluctantly by Aonung and a few others. They find Payakan and begin pulling the tracker out of him, just as Quaritch and his whaling ship arrive. Loak immediately calls his father to report what's happening. Luckily, the kids manage to rip out the tracker and then dive underwater to hide as the soldiers search for them. Meanwhile, Jake informs Tonowari that their children are missing. Alarmed, the chief mobilizes his people for war. Jake and Neytiri arm themselves as well, and together with the Metkayina, they head into battle. On the whale ship, Quaritch orders his men to hunt down Jake's children. Eventually, they capture Kiri and Tuck in a net. Loak tries to free them, but is dragged onto the ship as well. Quaritch shackles the kids to the railing and seizes Loak's communicator,
daughter, Suk, Loak.
demanding Jake surrender if he wants them to live. With no choice, Jake agrees. But before Quaritch can act further, Payakan sees his friend Loak bound on the deck. In a daring move, the Tulkun hurls itself onto the ship. Smashing soldiers aside and tearing into the vessel with its massive fins. Using the chaos, Jake and the Metkaina launch their counterattack, fighting not only to rescue their children, but also to avenge their people. At the same time, Spider sabotages the whale ship's control system, causing it to crash into the rocks and begin flooding. Jake and his eldest son, Neytiri, rush onto the deck, freeing Loak, Tuck, and Kiri. They tell the younger kids to escape to safety, but Loak refuses. He wants to rescue Spider. Neytiri goes with him, and together they find him. As they make their way out, Quaritch spots them and opens fire. Tragically, Neytiri is hit and badly wounded. Loak and Spider rush him back to shore, but the injuries are too severe. Neytiri dies in Neytiri's arms, leaving her devastated as she cries out in grief. Meanwhile, Quaritch manages to capture Kiri and Tuck with his Ikron. He then contacts Jake, revealing that both of his daughters are in his custody. Hearing this, Jake struggles to calm Neytiri, but eventually convinces her to join him in rescuing their girls. Fueled by rage, Neytiri summons her Ikron, grabs her bow and arrows, and flies straight toward the enemy ship. Jake reaches the vessel first and triggers an explosion, killing several of Quaritch's men. Moments later, Neytiri arrives, raining down arrows and taking out the remaining soldiers. In the chaos, Jake finds Tuck and frees her, but Quaritch suddenly appears, holding Kiri at knife point. He demands Jake drop his weapons, and Jake reluctantly obeys. At the same time, a furious Neytiri seizes Spider and threatens to kill him. Quaritch initially insists Spider means nothing to him, until Neytiri makes a small cut across the boy's chest. Unable to stand by, Quaritch releases Kiri. With that, Neytiri regroups with her family to leave, but Quaritch warns Jake that he'll never stop hunting him down. Realizing peace will never be possible while Quaritch lives, Jake returns to face him one final time. The two rivals clash in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Blow for blow, they're evenly matched, but ultimately Jake gains the upper hand. He locks Quaritch in a chokehold and knocks him unconscious, leaving him to sink beneath the water. Believing his enemy defeated, Jake himself begins to drown, but Loak arrives just in time, rescuing his father and pulling him to the surface. Meanwhile, Spider makes a surprising choice. Though he pulls his biological father from the water and saves him, when Quaritch asks him to leave together, Spider refuses. He returns instead to his true adoptive family. In the final scene, Jake's family and the Metkaina lay Neytiri to rest in the ocean depths, where glowing sea tendrils surround him like an embrace. The film closes with Jake reflecting on his son's life, cherishing their memories, and finding comfort in the belief that Neytiri is now with Eywa, at peace. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for watching.